Can't stop, won't stop, get guap. 10 white toes and them Tory flip-flops. Manicures and pedicures, I'm always tip-top. When they say I'm not hot, all these lies need to stop. Cause I'm icy, wifey, haters wanna fight me. Never been the one get RP up on a whitey. Keep my hands clean, got some hitters moving shicey. Ask me if I'm rolling with some...
Okay, so anyway, after that little thing, it is true, I am reading I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, and the genre of this book is an autobiography, non-fiction, so it's basically written by Maya Angelou about her life, but it's not about like all of her life, basically her early years, like childhood, teenage years. So the brief synopsis is her full name is Marguerite Angela, but she shortens it to Maya. And basically the book starts off with Maya and Bailey going on this trip to Stamps, Arkansas, which is pretty cool because we live in Arkansas. Anyway, when they live in Arkansas, they face many challenges because of their race and how they are seen to be inferior to the white race and how it affects them throughout their entire life. And yeah, you can see like the effects of racism in her life early on in the book, like even as early as page 3, where she hates her appearance that makes her black, basically her skin color, her nose, her eyes, her hair, her lips, anything that considers her to be black. She says on page 3 that the reason why she is black is because a cruel fairy stepmother who was understandably jealous of my beauty had turned me into a too big Negro girl with nappy black hair, broad feet, and a space between her teeth that would hold a number 2 pencil. So basically relatable. And with this fact that you can see that racism has affected her early on in the book, and it continued to affect her and Bailey and basically her entire black family throughout the entire book. What I like about this book very much is I love the mindset of Maya Angelou and how she gives her point of view of situations that happen. It's really hard to explain. Really, I just love her voice. Not like she talks in the book, but like I love her, like how she describes things and her strong opinion about things. For example, on page 180, basically what happens in this scene is this dude comes down, he's running for mayor and whatever. He goes down to Stamps, Arkansas to give a speech to the graduating 8th grade class. And mind you, these kids are all black, and this guy is a white man, so he has no connection to these kids whatsoever and doesn't know the struggles that they go through. So in this speech, he basically lists like the one big accomplishment that black people have, and that's with their black boys during this time with sports. And that's what he emphasizes, that black people have their sports, and basically he can benefit off of that. He doesn't say anything about the black girls, which also goes to show like the struggles that black women and girls went through during this time. And so basically on 180, what Maya Angelou had to say about that was like, after this guy left, he left everyone in a horrible mood, and she describes it as, her feelings as, it was awful to be a Negro and have no control over my life. It was brutal to be young and already trained to sit quietly and listen to charges brought against my color with no chance of defense. We all should be dead. I can't like explain how much I love her writing, because like the way she explains this is so strong, and she takes it into another point of view of like all black people during this time. And that's not like even the only one describing this scene. There's like 3 whole pages emphasizing her anger with this guy, and not only with this guy, but like white people of power, how they benefit off of black people, and how she's frustrated with that. And I love how she puts it into her own words. What I don't like about the book is how there's no actual climax to the book. Like the only climax that you would actually get was during her sexual assault scene, which is a sad scene and it contributes to her growth, but that's at the beginning of the book, therefore it's not really a climax, it's just like a starter point of her becoming herself. So there's like no actual climax, but that doesn't make me hate the book, it just makes it a little bit unique and new to me, kind of getting used to it, and plus it's kind of an autobiography, so it's not going to be like a whole significant climax. It's just her life. So I was basically confused by that, but it doesn't make me hate the book. What stood out about her writing that I admired was basically, this is very vague, but her use of similes, metaphors, hyperboles, and personifications emphasizes where she is from, which is in like the deep Bible Belt South, where they love to use similes to describe their expressions and stuff. That was awful. Anyway, oh my god, it is so loud. Hold on. And the reason why I really love it is because, like, most of the book is her being a little girl. So this little girl describing things is really cute in its own little way. Because, like, she will take, like, the smallest object and, like, dramatize it because she's a little girl. And that's what I think is unique about her writing, is from a perspective of a little kid, but in the mindset of a woman, if it kind of makes sense, if it makes sense. Some of the stylistic choices that I struggle with reading, is like sometimes she gets a little bit too into detail with like objects or like places, and then I just lose it. I don't know what she's talking about, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's just like a general issue or if it's just me. And I'm pretty sure it's just me, because when people go into too much detail about something, I will get lost extremely easily. So yeah, that's a problem. And yes, I would also like to point out, like, another thing that I love about this book is, like, it doesn't only highlight the struggles of black girls and women, but it highlights the struggles of black boys also. So, like, on page 198 in this scene, Bailey watches a white man pull a dead black man out of a river, and basically just smile at the dead body, basically signifying that the white man does not care whatsoever about the dead black man in the river and doesn't see him as a human being. So Bailey, being like a 10-year-old boy, runs home and is like frantic, like, why do white people hate us so much? And he basically goes on this rant and this mystery, as Angela describes. He was away in a mystery, locked in the enigma that young Southern black boys start to try to unravel. From 7 years old to death, the humorless puzzle of inequality and hate. His experience raised the question of worth and values of aggressive inferiority and aggressive arrogance. So yeah, that's like still a struggle that black people go through today. And that's what I also like about this book, is how it relates to me and other people of color. And that's really who I recommend this book to, is people of color who want to actually get a point of view of what it was like to be black in the Bible Belt South, racism South, in Maya Angelou's point of view. And I also recommend this book to, people who actually care about the African Americans and their struggles, because a lot of the struggles presented in this book still happen today. It's just like evolutionized into something more hidden, and I like how she does that. So yeah, this book basically gives a good representation to black people, and it gives us a good perspective of a girl who grows into a woman in this oppressive society, and how she made it through her traumatic events, through her brother's traumatic events, and how racism along with sexism has shaped her into the powerful woman that she was and still is. So yeah, this book is really, really powerful, and I love it so much for these particular reasons, and I really recommend it to anyone who gives even the slightest flying crud for Black lives. Thank you.